Hi, I'm Bob Getty, and I want to take a moment to introduce this tape. The Great American Road belongs to Buick, and that's what this tape is all about. It's a gift from us here at your dealership. We sold you the car, and now we're going to help keep it in like-new condition by servicing it for you. The tape is loaded with information on how we can work together to keep your new Buick on the road for years to come, including maintenance you can do yourself, like checking engine fluids, and service that we're equipped to handle for you, like oil changes and other regular scheduled maintenance. Our service department is here to help you. Get to know us. Ask us any questions you might have about the operation and maintenance of your new car. Now sit back and watch the tape. And then, why not give us your comments by filling out the enclosed survey? Enjoy your new Buick and this videotape. Come see us soon, okay? And from Mr. Goodwrench, it's not just a car, it's your freedom.
A good place to begin learning about your new Buick is with two vital sources of information. These two booklets, your warranty information booklet and your owner's manual, which includes the maintenance schedule. After you've read them, keep them with the car. A convenient place to store them is in the glove box. Now let's get rolling, beginning with some helpful information about starting and warming up your new Buick's engine. Your car is equipped with an electric fuel pump that is primed and ready to start the instant you turn the ignition key. So under just about any starting conditions, there's no need to pump the gasoline pedal before you turn the key. It's a hard habit to break, but fuel injection does the priming itself. Restrain that foot, otherwise you might flood the engine. Then, after starting up, give your new Buick a couple of seconds to idle before you put it in gear and drive away. These few seconds will allow fluids to warm up and circulate. On extremely cold mornings, it may take an extra few seconds of warm-up. You can use the wake-up period to fasten your safety belt, check the gauges and lights on your instrument panel, and adjust your mirrors. There, your new Buick's ready to hit the road. But before you go too far, let's take a minute to review your car's recommended break-in period. Namely, those things to keep in mind during the first few hundred miles of driving your new car. First of all, you don't have to give your Buick the kid glove treatment. It doesn't need an elaborate break-in. Don't hesitate to take it out on the highway and drive at speeds up to 55 miles per hour for those first 500 miles or so. Try to vary your driving speeds in these first few hundred miles. The moving parts in a new car tend to adjust to one another better if you vary speeds, and try to avoid making hard stops for the first couple of hundred miles to help establish an even wear pattern on the brake pads. Remember to check the oil every time you get gasoline, especially during the first few thousand miles of operation. During that early period, the new pistons, rings, and other engine parts are breaking in, and the car may consume a bit of oil, so keep an eye on the oil level. And if your car is equipped with an oil pressure gauge, keep an eye on it too. Just remember though, the dipstick and gauge indicate two different things. The dipstick tells you how much oil is in the engine oil pan, and the oil pressure gauge indicates the amount of force pushing engine oil through the system. This is a good time to familiarize yourself with all of the gauges in your new Buick. They tell you what's going on under the hood. Depending on the Buick model you bought, you'll have this cluster or this cluster, the one with needles and dials, or this digital cluster. Each has a different combination of warning lights and gauges, and it's up to you to pay attention to what they're indicating. Warning lights like this one come on anytime the ignition is in the on or start position and when you first start the engine as part of the system's self-check. They should stay on only a moment. But if they remain on any time the engine is running, or if they come on while you're underway, you may have a problem. Check your owner's manual or call the dealership for help. This oil warning light, for instance, indicates your engine is operating under low oil pressure. This battery light could indicate a problem with the battery charging system. And this light, which measures engine operating temperature, lights up only if the engine is overheated. Buicks equipped with ABS, anti-lock brakes, have an additional light as well. No matter what your indicators look like, they provide the same basic information. The oil pressure gauge, as we said, indicates the amount of force behind the engine oil as it circulates inside the engine, lubricating and helping to cool moving parts. These two gauges measure engine operating temperature. The 260-degree mark or red line indicates overheating. These two gauges check on the battery charging system. As long as the gauge reads in the safe range shown here, your charging system's operating within requirements. No matter which instrument cluster your new Buick has, keep these few hints in mind. If a warning light comes on or a gauge reads outside the safe range, don't ignore it, but don't panic either. Stop the car and refer to your owner's manual. And if you have to, call your dealer service advisor or roadside assistance for help. And if you have a coolant temperature gauge, pay close attention to it when the weather is extremely hot or extremely cold, the conditions most likely to strain the cooling system. If this service engine soon light comes on, don't panic. It's a reminder that your computer-controlled emission system needs service. Now let's take some of the mystery out of operating your Buick's heater and air conditioner. Depending on the model you bought, your Buick's unit might look like this, with levers that slide to each setting, or like this, Buick's dual Comfort Temp automatic climate control unit. Either way, the key to using it is to remember three things: airflow, fan speed, and temperature. On defrost, most of the air comes through these upper outlets. Depending on outside air temperature, this setting either defrosts or defogs your windshield. Airflow settings determine how air flows into your Buick's interior. When you set the air control lever to heater, you get a flow of warm air through the heater outlet near the floor, with some through the windshield and front side window outlets. On vent, outside air flows through the outlets on the instrument panel. With the bi-lev or bi-level setting, conditioned air comes from both the upper and lower outlets. Try bi-level to defog your windows too. Fan speed for both heater and air conditioner governs the force of air blowing through the system from high to low, and the temperature of the air the system is putting out is adjusted here from cold to hot. The dual Comfort Temp automatic climate control system works much the same way. Airflow is adjusted using these touch control buttons. Temperature is adjusted here with the approximate degrees in Fahrenheit showing here, and the fan speed is adjusted here, low, high, or auto, which many drivers find the most convenient setting. This other auto button is an added feature that maintains your desired inside temperature. Once you program the temperature setting with these two buttons on auto, the system will automatically keep it there. Here's one thing to remember. The memory controls you program into your car, such as radio station memory buttons, even some seat controls, are dependent on your car's battery. If you take your new Buick in for service requiring temporary battery disconnection, you'll need to reprogram these settings when you pick up your car. If your Buick is equipped with cruise control, you'll find the control at the end of the smart switch lever right here. You can use cruise control at any speeds above 25 miles per hour, which can really help you avoid fatigue on long trips, anytime you can maintain a steady speed. Read the detailed instructions in your owner's manual for cruise control operation, including how to use the special tap-up, tap-down speed setting feature. And finally, remember that all of this is explained in detail in your owner's manual, the primary source of information about your new Buick's instrument cluster and gauges. its special features and operating controls, and everything in it. Bumper to Bumper Plus. One of the key questions new car owners like you ask is about warranty coverage. What is and what isn't covered? So let's get specific about your new car's warranty coverage. It has two major components. First, GM's basic 3-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper plus coverage. And second, 6-year, 100,000-mile corrosion coverage. In addition, the car is covered by 5-year, 50,000-mile emission defect and emission performance coverage. The GM bumper-to-bumper plus coverage protects the entire car, bumper to bumper, except the tires and wear items like the brake pads, clutch linings, and of course regular maintenance items such as engine oil and filters, PCV valves, and coolant. Bumper-to-bumper plus coverage means the entire car, including the powertrain, is covered for any malfunction due to defects in materials or workmanship during the first 3 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first. There are no deductibles in the first 12 months or 12,000 miles. After that, a $100 deductible would apply for each visit in which repair work is actually performed during the remaining warranty period. Ask your dealer for details on an extended service contract, which may extend the basic coverage, provide towing and road service, or reduce the $100 deductible to $25. The tires on your new Buick are covered under separate warranty by the tire manufacturer. For details on that coverage, read the tire warranty booklet that came with your new car. The body of the car is protected by GM's 6-year, 100,000-mile corrosion coverage against perforation caused by rust. In other words, any sheet metal panel that actually rusts through due to corrosion during that time period will be repaired or replaced. But remember, your car's warranty, like any new car warranty, covers malfunction and defects, not damage caused by accident, abuse, or improper maintenance. That's an important point. Your car was built strong and built to last, and General Motors backs it with strong warranty coverage. But it's really up to you to take care of it properly, and that's why both preventive maintenance and regular scheduled maintenance are so important. Here's a final important warranty tip. Whenever you have your car serviced, save the service receipt and be sure that it clearly indicates what service was performed and when, and keep a record of the maintenance in your GM maintenance schedule booklet. If you ever do need warranty service, it's good to have records showing that your car has been properly maintained. Your Buick service department is ready to handle any problem you may have with your car. But if you're out on the road, maybe away from home, and your Buick becomes disabled at an inconvenient time, you can still turn to Buick for help. Buick Roadside Assistance is a new and innovative service that takes the anxiety out of uncertain situations by providing easy access to service professionals who are trained to work with Buick owners over the telephone. Here's how it works. Refer to your Buick Roadside Assistance personal identification card for the toll-free hotline number. You'll find it in the back of your Buick Roadside Assistance booklet. The toll-free hotline puts you in touch with a Buick Roadside Assistance advisor. In order to protect you and avoid mistakes, the advisor will first ask you a few questions about you and your Buick to establish your identity. It's a good idea to fill in the back section of the Buick Roadside Assistance booklet so this information is readily available. The service covers your new Buick regardless of who is driving for a period concurrent with your warranty. That is 3 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first. Once your identity is established, the advisor will first assess the situation and determine if they can recommend minor repairs for you to make on the spot. If the situation is more serious, the advisor can arrange for towing or provide you with special services, like helping you make a reservation for lodging, securing a rental car, making air and rail travel arrangements, or dispatching a taxi service. Roadside assistance and towing providers will be dispatched through Buick's nationwide network of 3,000 dealers and will usually arrive in about 30 minutes. Buick Roadside Assistance will identify licensed towing operators, which in most cases are the local Buick dealer with secure storage areas for the protection of your automobile. Calls to the Buick Roadside Assistance Center are free, as is the time spent with the Buick Roadside Assistance Advisor. This service is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year in all 50 states. Naturally, charges for roadside service, towing, and repairs are your responsibility, though you may be eligible for reimbursement through warranty, service contracts, or insurance purchased for your new Buick. We're proud to offer Buick Roadside Assistance as an added value to Buick owners. It gives you the peace of mind to know that you can get help whenever or wherever you need it. And it restates our continuing drive for service leadership in the automotive industry. Let's take time here to go over some of the more important owner maintenance points, beginning with a quick tour under the hood of your car. There are several important checkpoints under the hood, and they're easy to find. On this model, for example, you'll find clearly marked dipsticks and fluid filler caps. The coolant recovery tank. Check it at every fuel fill-up. The windshield washer reservoir. Check it at fuel fill-up too. The power steering fluid unit. Check fluid level twice a year. And the engine oil dipstick and filler cap. Check the oil level every time you fill up with gasoline. The engine oil dipstick is your most frequent checkpoint because oil is probably the most critical engine fluid. Oil lubricates and helps cool the moving parts inside your engine. Keeping it fresh and up to level is critical to engine health. The best time to check the oil is when the engine is warm, after the engine has been operating for a while. Wait a few moments after you shut off the engine so that the oil can drain back into the pan and give you an accurate check. But if you're not certain of the oil dipstick location, check your owner's manual. Here's how to do it. Remove the dipstick and then wipe it clean. Push it all the way back into the engine and then remove it again, keeping the tip down. The level should be within the safe range shown here. But if the oil level is below the add line, here, add a quart of the type of engine oil recommended in the engine oil section of your owner's manual. Keep in mind that it's normal for an engine to consume a bit of oil, especially engines like yours, which are designed to run at a relatively high operating temperature. But don't ever overfill the engine with oil. Too much can cause just as much damage as too little. Recheck the dipstick, and then remember to push the dipstick all the way back down when you replace it in the engine. Otherwise, you might disturb the crankcase ventilation system. Your new car is also equipped with a Delco Freedom battery, which means you won't have to add water to it. But while here under the hood, you can check the green indicator, here, to see that the battery has a good charge. Also, take a look at the battery cables and connections. If they show signs of corrosion, have them cleaned. You can check the coolant level by looking at the see-through coolant recovery tank located here on this model. This is very important. Never open the radiator cap itself when the car is hot or even warm. The hot steam under pressure can burn you or others badly. Check coolant at the coolant reservoir when the engine is warm or cool. You'll see the full hot and add level markings on the reservoir. If the coolant level is low, remove the top from the recovery tank and add a mixture that's half clean water and half a good grade of ethylene glycol antifreeze. After you've checked the coolant level, check the windshield washer fluid here and replenish it if it's low. Be sure to use only washer fluid, not water, when you're refilling it. Checking the automatic transaxle fluid level accurately with this dipstick here is difficult, and correct filling if the unit needs fluid is even trickier, so you may choose to leave it to the dealership during regular scheduled maintenance. Your owner's manual does, however, show you how to do it. The brake master cylinder is here on most models. You can check the level yourself, but might want to leave it to the pros, especially if your car is equipped with an anti-lock brake system, which requires a special checking procedure. Your owner's manual does explain this procedure. Let your dealer's service department take care of your brakes, but do report any braking abnormality immediately. When you think about it, the parts of your car that hit the road, literally, are the tires. They require regular attention too, something you can do routinely. One key to getting the most from your tires is keeping them inflated to the proper pressure. Because you can't always tell by eye whether a tire is under or overinflated, you really have to check with a tire pressure gauge. The tire placard, located on the driver's side door, shows the recommended cold tire pressure for your particular model. On some models, the placard is located on the door pillar. On the Regal, it's in the trunk. Check pressure when the tires are cold if possible. If you check pressure with the tires hot, refer to your owner's manual for instructions. Make it a habit to check your tire pressure when you're at the service station. And don't forget to check the compact spare every now and then. To help your tires last longer, have them inspected and rotated according to the mileage recommendations in Section A of your maintenance schedule. The dealer will use the correct rotation pattern for your particular model and can also tell you whether your tires are wearing evenly and normally. Winter and summer driving can be rough on any car. And one good way to help your car survive the effects of winter's cold and summer's heat is to do a bit of preventive maintenance, specifically to check in with your dealer, say in April or May, and again in October or November. At each interval, the service technicians will check your coolant mixture for proper strength and freshness, and take a look at the hoses and hose connections. Things you can do yourself include spraying some silicone lubricant on a clean cloth and applying a thin film around the weather stripping on the doors and rear deck lid, too. In the winter, run the air conditioner once or twice. This will help keep rubber seals and moving parts lubricated. And in the spring, try the air conditioner in case it needs service. In the fall, give the heater defroster a check before winter sets in. Gearing up for winter might also mean adding some emergency supplies to your trunk, like a snow shovel, ice scraper, a supply of windshield washer fluid, even some extra outerwear and gloves. Your new car was built to deliver peak performance, and your dealer is ready to help keep it that way. But you can help too by following the fuel requirements spelled out in your owner's manual. Think of good fuel as a good investment for your car's high output engine. That means filling up with unleaded detergent gasoline with an octane rating at least as high as what's recommended in your owner's manual. Fuel-containing detergent helps protect the fuel injectors in your engine from clogging up. Check the gasoline pump itself for both octane rating and detergent information. Here's a fill-up tip. Don't overfill your tank. Overstuffing can actually interfere with the efficiency of your fuel delivery system. So when the nozzle clicks off, give it just 1 or 2 more quick clicks to top off and stop pumping. If you use the recommended grade and type of gasoline and give your car regular dealer maintenance, you shouldn't need additional additives. Finally, here are a few fuel economy tips. Following them can save some money by breaking some bad gasoline-consuming habits. Avoid jackrabbit stops and starts, zooming from one traffic light to the next and then screeching to a halt. Avoid unnecessary idling for long periods of time. Keep your tires inflated properly. Combine many short trips into one by planning your itinerary. If your car is equipped with cruise control, use it whenever conditions allow on long trips. It makes driving easier and is also a more economical way to drive. And finally, maintain the car according to the schedule that came with it. We'll go into detail about regular scheduled maintenance in a few minutes. When you bought your new car, you made a substantial investment. Quality automobiles are not cheap. You invested in performance, style, reliability, and durability. To protect that investment and to get the dependable service your car is engineered to deliver, you need to see that it is maintained regularly. And there's no better place to have the work done than in your dealer's service department. Sure, there was a time when many owners took pride in doing most of their own auto maintenance and repairs. But that was in the days before electronic ignition and fuel injection, before computer-aided diagnosis and complicated emission control devices. These days, it takes specially trained technicians and sophisticated, expensive equipment to maintain and repair today's cars, your car. And warranties like the ones covering your new Buick can be voided by improper repairs. So, as soon as you're ready for your car's first scheduled maintenance visit, get to know your dealer's service department. The service department is there to help you keep the car in good condition and can be a valuable source of information about the car and keeping it running right. The management of the service department is also your direct link to the department's service technicians. Dealer automotive service technicians are trained by General Motors to specifically service your new Buick. Some technicians have gone through intensive college-level training called the GM Automotive Service Education Program, designed exclusively for GM dealers. It offers training in areas like advanced engines, transaxles, suspensions, computers, electronics, and the latest diagnostic and repair procedures. Many technicians also wear this Automotive Service Excellence Patch, a sign that they've demonstrated their competence by passing a tough industry-supported certification test. Exactly how they will care for your car during scheduled maintenance visits depends on the type of driving you do and your car's age and mileage. The maintenance schedule, located in your owner's manual, outlines two different maintenance schedules, Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. One of them is for you. Here's how they work. Beginning with Schedule 1, which applies if your car is mainly driven under one or more of the following conditions: when most trips are less than 4 miles, when most trips are less than 10 miles and outside temperatures remain below freezing, when most trips include extended idling and/or frequent low-speed operation, as in stop-and-go traffic, if you tow a trailer with your new car, or drive the car on dusty roads. If any one of these conditions describes your driving, you should maintain your car according to Maintenance Schedule 1. And that means, first and foremost, having the oil and filter changed every 3,000 miles or 3 months, whichever comes first. Now, if none of those conditions applies to the way you drive, then maintain your car according to Maintenance Schedule 2, which means coming in for your first regular scheduled maintenance visit at 7,500 miles. So, if your driving is mostly short trips at slower speeds, change that oil every 3,000 miles. But if you have any doubt about which maintenance schedule to follow, or if your model Buick has high performance options, then follow Schedule 1, or ask your service department. When you do bring the car in for a visit, the regular scheduled maintenance may include an engine oil and oil filter change, chassis lubrication, transmission or transaxle service, checking and replacing air cleaner and PCV filters, checking fuel line and gas filler cap, inspecting spark plug wires and spark plug replacement, and inspecting the tires for damage and wear. Tires need replacing when flat spots called wear indicators appear across the tread. They indicate that the tread is down to the last 1/16 of an inch. Time for a new tire. Brake maintenance is another service point best left to the professionals. Your new car features a highly engineered GM braking system, which in fact your dealer service technicians will check during regular maintenance visits. Some models have 4-wheel disc brakes, and some have anti-lock brake systems that automatically pump the brakes in hard braking situations. Brake pads are an example of what automotive engineers call wear items. That is, they wear as they do their job, in this case, stopping the car. GM disc pads are designed to tell you loud and clear when they need replacing. They have a built-in wear indicator that makes a high-pitched squealing or cricket-like sound when new pads are needed. The sound may come and go, or be heard all the time when the vehicle is moving. If you hear it, or if the brake warning light comes on, take the car in and have the brakes inspected. Check your owner's manual for specifics on the way your car's wear indicators work. Occasional intermittent brake squeak when the brakes are applied is perfectly normal, as long as the car is stopping properly. Of course, if your brakes ever begin to operate erratically, pulling to one side in dry weather, or engaging unevenly, for instance, you should have them serviced right away. Your dealer has the personnel and equipment to do these routine but important maintenance operations, and do them right. All you have to do is stick to the recommended schedule, take the car in, and then keep a careful record of all maintenance work performed right here in Section D of your maintenance schedule, the maintenance record. It's really not difficult to change a flat tire. Before we show you how, please keep 2 important safety cautions in mind. 1. Once you start changing the tire, you don't want the car to move at all, so make sure it's stable. And 2, during the tire change, don't let anyone get under the car. So let's do it. First step is to read up on the procedure in the owner's manual, which should be handy inside your glove box, or follow the instructions on the spare tire label. Here's how it goes. Park the car on level ground, as far away from traffic lanes as possible. Put the shift lever in park, turn the engine off and the hazard warning flashers on, and set the parking brake. Use wheel chocks, wooden blocks, bricks or rocks if you have to block the wheel diagonally across from the flat, and block both sides of the wheel, front and back. Now get the spare and jacking tools out of the stowage compartment and lay them alongside the flat. If there's a wheel cover on the flat tire, remove it by using the wheel wrench. If your car has wire wheel covers, you may have to remove a lock bracket when you remove the flat. Make sure you save it too. Not all cars have wire wheel lock brackets on all wheels. Remove the wire wheel covers themselves with a wheel key wrench that came with your car. You may find it in the glove compartment. Here's how to remove a wire wheel cover without damaging it. Insert the flat end of the wheel key wrench in one of the slots in the small inside hub cover and pry it off. Then use the wrench to remove the special anti-theft wheel nut like this. Now you can pry the full wheel cover off to expose the wheel lug nuts. When you loosen the wheel lug nuts, you'll get better leverage by pulling up rather than pushing down. Loosen all the lug nuts, but don't remove them yet. Next, look under the car, but don't get under it, and locate the jacking notch closest to the wheel you're changing. These diagrams show locations for all 4 wheels. Now position the jack lift head into the notch, careful of moldings and other trim, and raise the jack until it just engages the notch. Double check the jack position and make sure the jack base is firmly on the ground. Now raise the jack until the flat and wheel are just off the ground. Remove the lug nuts and keep them nearby where they won't roll away. And the wheel cover is a good place. Pull the flat off and lay it down where it cannot roll away, and then put on the compact spare. Now put the lug nuts back on. Be sure the tapered end, this end, goes inside toward the hub, and tighten them with the wrench until they're just snug. Now lower the car by turning the wheel wrench counterclockwise all the way. Once the car is back down on firm ground, get the jack out of the way and give the nuts a final tightening. This diagram shows the proper sequence for tightening the nuts. That's it. Just remember to put everything back into the trunk, including the wheel cover from the flat. It won't fit in your compact spare and you don't want to leave it behind. And if you don't remember how to store the jack properly, check the manual again. You don't want loose equipment rolling around in your car. One of your first stops, by the way, should be a service center to get the flat repaired or replaced. If replacement is necessary, have the tire dealer match the TPC spec number and the size. These numbers bolted into the sidewall to a new tire. Matching the tire performance criteria specification number and size means that your new tire will match the old ones. Let's wrap up this discussion of road emergencies with some added information on safety. Because emergencies are unpredictable, it's important to protect yourself each time you get into your new car. We're talking about your car's safety belts. The safety belt system in your new car will help protect you and your passengers from injury in the event of a crash. That's not news to you. Your owner's manual answers many of the questions you may have about proper safety belt use. Use your safety belts. They help save lives and reduce injury. Wear the belt across your chest, never under your arm. Make sure it's buckled in its proper latch plate, not the one next to it. Keep the belt free of twists. A twist can delay the belt's reaction time, and the twist itself could cause injury. Make a visual check of your safety belts periodically. Torn or frayed belts may rip apart when you need them most. If the safety belt light comes on while you're driving, or if it doesn't go off after starting your new car, first make sure your safety belts are properly fastened, and then take it to your dealer's service department and have the system checked. Otherwise, you might not have the protection you're counting on in an emergency. If you have any additional questions about the proper use and features of the safety belts for your particular model, see your owner's manual. A final safety tip. Use all of the safety restraint equipment built into your car. Make sure the doors are locked whenever the car is underway, and adjust the head restraint to a point just behind the head at about ear level, not below on the neck itself, which could increase risk of injury. So there you have it. Important car care facts and tips you need to know in order to get peak performance from your new car. But there's still one more thing you can do, this time to help us out. We want you to be completely satisfied with your new car and with our dealership services. So if you have any questions about the operation, maintenance, or warranties on your new car, speak to your service department. That's what they're there for. And please be sure to fill out and return any GM surveys you receive. Your response is important to us because it lets us know how we're doing and any way we can improve. We try our level best to provide the most professional, courteous service you can find. And if you're happy, let us know on the surveys by checking very satisfied. But if at any time you're not satisfied with the attention we give you or your car, please let us know. We look forward to seeing you at your first regular scheduled maintenance visit. Meanwhile, have fun getting acquainted with that new premium American motor car. So long for now.